My wife screamed, "Your best friend broke into our house." I replied, "I'll call the police." Then I chose the police to watch the footage of her automatically setting up the break-in. Her belongings when the police said, "Ma'am, put your hands behind your back. My name's Ethan Cole." 36. I own a small but thriving software startup with my best friend, Ryan Foster. 35. We've known each other since college, two broke computer science nerds who used to pull all-nighters in a freezing dorm room, dreaming about building something that would outlive us. Somehow, we actually did it. 5 years ago, I married Lana, a bright, witty woman with a smile that could light up a room. For a while, it felt like the American dream, a house in Portland, a growing business, and a woman who said she believed in me. But as success came, something changed. Lana's warmth turned to quiet resentment, especially toward Ryan. She never said, "I hate him," but it was always there in her tone. "Don't you think Ryan depends on you too much? He's always around. Doesn't he have his own friends? You spend more time with him than with your wife." I brushed it off every time. Ryan was my business partner, my brother in everything but blood. He'd been there before I even met her. But looking back now, I can see it the way her words slowly twisted into poison. Lana didn't want a husband with a best friend. She wanted an orbit where she was the sun and everything revolved around her. Still, I ignored it. I told myself it was just insecurity, something marriage counseling could fix someday. But people like Lana don't go to counseling. They go to war and make sure they look innocent while doing it. I'm a bit of a tech geek. So our home had a full security system, visible cameras in the living room, kitchen, and office, all linked to a private server in my study. Lana used to tease me for it. "Your nerd toys," she'd laugh. "What are you expecting, Ethan? A heist movie?" I didn't expect anything. I just liked having control, knowing I could see what was happening in my own house. It gave me peace of mind. Turns out, it also saved my life. Last month, I was supposed to travel for a 2-day pitch to a potential investor in San Francisco. It was originally Ryan's trip, but 2 nights before, Lana called me at work in tears. "Ethan, I got into a car accident. It's just a fender bender, but I'm so shaken up. I don't want to be alone." So, I swapped with Ryan. I went. He stayed. I didn't even think twice. 30 hours later, my phone exploded with calls. Lana's name flashed over and over. When I finally picked up, her voice was hysterical. "Ethan. Oh God, Ethan. Someone broke in. Everything smashed everything." My blood turned to ice. "Are you okay? Did you call 911? "I'm hiding in the closet," she sobbed. They took your grandfather's drafting tools." My stomach dropped. Those tools were priceless to my old wooden compasses and rulers from the 1940s, passed down from my grandfather, the man who taught me how to build. They weren't worth money, but they were mine. "Hang up, Lana. Call the police right now. I'm coming home." There was silence. Then her voice dropped an octave. "Ethan. I think I saw who it was." "What?" "He was wearing that green jacket. The one Ryan always wears. It looked just like him. He must have used his key." The world seemed to tilt. For a long moment, I couldn't speak. She kept talking, gasping between words. "He knew you were gone. He knew I'd be alone. He's always been jealous of us, of you." I said nothing. My mind had gone unnervingly calm. When I finally spoke, my voice didn't sound like mine. "That's an incredibly serious accusation, Lana. Don't touch anything. I'm calling the police." I hung up before she could reply. But I didn't call 911. I opened my laptop. It took seconds to log into the home security network. 2 cameras, living room and office were offline. Status, unplugged. She knew which ones to pull. She was smart, but not smart enough. There was one more camera, small wide-angle cam in the foyer that I'd told her was defective months ago. I'd meant to replace it, but it had quietly been backing up to my cloud the whole time. I clicked on the latest file. There she was, calm, in yoga pants. No panic, no fear. She walked straight to the office, unplugged the camera, then the one in the living room. She smashed a vase, scattered some books, tossed mail onto the floor. Then she picked up the wooden box, my grandfather's tools, and slid it carefully into her oversized tote bag. Finally, she took a deep breath, pulled out her phone, and called me. I just sat there staring, numb, when the clip ended. I downloaded it and called the local police station. My wife has reported a home invasion at 1420 Westfield Drive. I'm the homeowner. I have video evidence of the event that I need to share with the responding officers. Please have them wait for me. I'm on my way from San Francisco. I caught the next flight home. 3 hours later, I was standing on my porch, staring at 2 patrol cars parked outside. Lana was wrapped in a blanket, her mascara running, giving a statement to a young officer. When she saw me, she tried to run into my arms. Ethan. It was awful. He took everything. I stopped her mid-step. You're safe. That's what matters, I said evenly, holding her at arm's length. The older officer, Sergeant Reyes, came over. Mr. Cole, you mentioned video evidence. Yes. Before you go knocking on anyone's door, I think you should see this. I opened the foyer footage on my phone. Lana froze. A camera. What camera? The defective one, honey, I said quietly. Guess it fixed itself. Reyes and his partner leaned over my shoulder as the footage played. The vase, the tote bag, the fake chaos, the phone call. The room fell silent, except for Lana's quick, panicked breathing. When the video ended, Reyes looked up, double quotes, Mrs. Cole. Do you want to explain this? That's fake, she shouted. It's a... He's framing me. He and Ryan Reyes cut her off. Ma'am, this is a timestamped encrypted file from a secured server. Your husband was on a plane. You're on video staging a crime. Her voice cracked into a shriek. You're choosing him over me, Ethan. You'll regret this. You'll be nothing without me. When they cuffed her, she was still screaming, and I just stood there in the middle of my wrecked living room, surrounded by broken glass and lies, wondering how the hell my life had turned into a crime scene. When the police arrived, I didn't argue. I just played the footage, watching her face drain of color while the officers turned toward her. I'll never forget that. They asked her a few sharp questions: why her fingerprints were on the rock, why her shoes matched the prints outside. She stammered, gave excuses about panic and a misunderstanding. After checking the scene, one officer came to me quietly and said, Sir, technically this isn't a criminal break-in. There's property damage, but no theft or assault. If you want to press charges for false reporting, we'll file it. Otherwise, we'll leave it as a domestic dispute. I stood there, frozen. Part of me wanted to see her in handcuffs, but another part, tired, numb, just wanted peace. So I said, no, just leave us for now. They took a short statement, told her to clean up the mess, and left. The sound of the police car pulling away felt heavier than silence itself. That was the day I realized the woman I married wasn't the person I thought she was. And the story of how we got to that moment, it's even worse. After the police left, she sat on the couch, staring at the shattered window like she couldn't recognize her own reflection. I leaned against the wall, exhausted. The house smelled of dust and cold air. For a long time, neither of us said a word. Finally, she whispered, I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just wanted you to protect me, to care again. Her words made my stomach twist. That wasn't love, that was control. You lied. You dragged my best friend into this. You called the police on your own act, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She covered her face and started crying, but this time I didn't move to comfort her. The woman in front of me wasn't a victim. She was the one who'd built the chaos. Later that night, I called Jake. I told him everything and sent him the video. He didn't even get angry, just sighed and said, "Man, I think she needs help. But you need to get out." He was right. I couldn't fix her, and I couldn't keep pretending this marriage was normal. I packed a bag, left my keys on the table, and walked out, behind me. I heard her call my name, not crying, not screaming, just hollow, like she knew it was over. That was the night I stopped being afraid of losing her, because I'd already lost everything real between us. I stayed at a motel that night, but I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that video, her smashing the window, pretending to scream. It wasn't just the act itself. It was how calm she'd been while doing it, like it was planned the next morning. My phone was flooded with messages, not from her, but from mutual friends, asking what happened. Apparently, she'd posted online that Jake and I set her up, and that the police protected the intruder. I didn't respond. I just sent the footage to a few close friends who'd asked for the truth. Within hours, the posts vanished. She must have realized no one was buying her story anymore. Later that day, I got a call from her sister. She sounded tired, almost apologetic. "She's not doing well," she said. "She's been like this since her last job fell apart. She thinks everyone's out to leave her, or betray her. I've tried to get her to therapy, but she always refuses." And suddenly, everything made sense. All those tests, the jealousy, the lies, they weren't random. They were fear. Fear of abandonment twisted into control. But understanding her didn't mean I could go back. Some damage can't be undone. A week later, I filed for separation. She showed up once at my work, crying, begging me to start over. I looked at her, really looked, and realized there was no anger left in me, just sadness. "You didn't lose me because of Jake," I said quietly. "You lost me the moment you stopped being honest." She didn't reply. She just stood there for a while, then turned and walked away. It's been 6 months now. I moved to a new place, closer to my family. Jake and I still talk every week, though sometimes we both go quiet when her name comes up. The house we shared was sold. The security cameras taken down, but I kept one clip, the one where she stood frozen when the truth played back on screen. Not out of spite, but as a reminder that love without trust becomes fear, and fear, if left unchecked, can turn anyone into a stranger. It's been a year since that night. I've built a more peaceful life, new apartment, new job, less people, less noise. Sometimes I still wake up at 3 a.m., hoping to hear the familiar creak of the old hallway, or her voice calling my name from another room. But now all I hear is silence and peace. Recently, Jake got engaged. When he asked me to be his best man, I almost said no. Part of me still felt guilty about what she did to him. But he just laughed and said, "Hey man, I've made it up to you 100 times over. Stop punishing yourself." That's when I realized, maybe I wasn't mad anymore. I was just tired of remembering. 2 months ago, I ran into her again. I was in a downtown cafe waiting for a drink when she walked in. The same look, the same gentle smile, but something different, calmer, almost vulnerable. She froze when she saw me. Then, instead of avoiding me, she walked over. "Hey," she said quietly. "I'm in therapy. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry." I nodded. No words, no closing words, no ending. Just a people who used to love each other, standing together, finally no longer angry as she turned away. She added one more thing. "You're right. Fear has turned me into someone I don't recognize." As she walked out, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, not pain, not regret, just relief. I sat there for a while, staring at the steam rising from my coffee. Life doesn't always give you a happy ending. But sometimes it gives you peace, and that's enough, because, in the end, love isn't proven by how much chaos you can get through together. It's proven by the peace you can find when you finally let go.